Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome back to our event funnel series where we are going through step by step to learn how to ensure that your event funnel is set up correctly. On Monday, that was a little bit of a dry one, dry class, but we wanted to make sure that on Monday we set up your email sending domain so that it was properly set up and that it had all of the necessary DNS records that were going to help improve your email deliverability. Now, most of your emails in this series are delivered by workflow, which means that they are transactional in nature most of the time. Transactional means that they are being sent to one person at a time. And in workflows, that's exactly how that works, right? In any sort of automation, the emails are sent out in an action step inside of your workflow. And so that's what is happening in transactional emails. When we talk about bulk mass sending emails, that's when we're talking about marketing emails that we're sending to your entire email list. And so that's what Mondays was all about, was making sure that you can blast those emails out in bulk. And we talked about how to warm up your email sending domain, making sure that your records inside of your DNS panel matched so that you could ensure and improve the deliverability of each of those emails. And what happens we talked a little bit about what happens on the sender side of things, or on the receiver side of things, is that everybody's inbox provider has different filters that look for spam and look for marketing emails it's like an algorithm used in social media. And so we talked about how these DNS records prove to the inbox that's receiving your email that you are a real business, a real person, a valid sender, like you have permission to send this amount of email. And so it will improve the likelihood of it hitting the person's inbox. Now that we got that boring stuff out of the way, we can get back into our workflows and our emails. And this session right now is going to focus on all of that work that you guys did for the email templates, the SMS templates, and all of that work that you did writing out your own version of that template. And then we're going to replace those templates inside of all of the workflows. And we're going to talk about the workflows in order of how they're going to be sent out. Okay? So I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to dive into your workflows. All right. Now, I know on Monday we talked, well, I guess it would have been for some people it was Tuesday. No, it's Monday because we changed the time. Okay, so Monday we talked about there was a lot of templates for you guys to work through and rewrite and make your own. And did everybody get a chance to complete all of those? It's not necessary to do that to have them completed to go through today's lesson, but I just want to take a temperature check where everybody is. Karen, did you get a chance to finish your templates?
Regrettably not.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. No, there's a lot of them, right? There is a
So
lot of
many.
templates.
Yeah, and I'm so
Yeah.
picky. And then things don't work like I want it to work, and then it takes me like forever.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and there is a lot of words. And I know it's one of the things that I kind of get hung up on too is messaging is important, right? You want to make sure that the message that you're sending is good. So, okay, we're going to dive into, and you don't have to have your templates done to complete this, but we are going to talk about the workflows that now are going to support this machine that you're building in the back end. And we're going to walk through what each of the workflows does. So inside of automations, I'm not sure what page your folder's on, but it will be called the sales process, events, sales process workflows. Okay. And so this is where you're going to find all the workflows that you need to support your events funnel. And this is the one that we're going to go into. Now, there's only 4 workflows, and we're actually going to start down at the very bottom, at the very last one. This is all about promoting your event. And what I love about the templates that the team has built for you guys is that this is really from start to finish, right? This is from promoting your event right up until delivering your products and services inside of the event, okay? So this promotion email sequence is part of the templates that we discussed before that you need to go in and make your own. But we're going to just look at what is taking place here. This isn't a complex workflow in any means, by any means. What the team is saying triggers the flow is by adding this contact tag. Now, of course, you're going to want to make your own contact tag for this workflow to fire off, because this tag says sales process, event, sales process, leads, right? That's not the tag that you want to use. You're going to probably want to name it like the name of your event and then leads, right? You can use that. So this part of the workflow is going to need to be changed inside of your template. You don't want it to be this same tag, okay? So I would replace this tag just by clicking and closing this and then choosing a new tag. So I would say event name and then leads, okay? And then I can add a new tag. And I would put up here too what the tag is. And then I would save that. And you're going to see up here how that changes here. So now the trigger is the new tag that I created that I'm going to add to the contacts that I want to throw into this workflow. So once a contact is put into the workflow, this is the first email that they receive. This is your promo email number 1. Okay. Now, if you have your version of this email, all you're going to do, because you've built it in the email templates section that we talked about, you're going to replace this template. So I'll show you an example. All you're going to do is you're going to go and search for your event promo 1, right? And I don't have one, but if you're going to have one, right? And you just replace it. You grab it and you replace it, and it updates the subject line. Okay. And you're also going to want to, what I recommend here is deleting this out. The from email, delete that out of there, because we want the system to automatically pull in the custom email sending domain that we have set up in our business profile. Why is that important? That's really important because that's the email we spent so much time on Monday, setting up properly so that it hits people's inboxes. Okay. So if we leave this blank, the system knows to pull that custom sending domain that we set up and use it to send this email. You can put whatever you want in this in here. If you leave it blank, the system will pull the name from your business profile. So if that's your business name, it will pull that if you leave this blank. You can put whatever you want in here. This doesn't matter. You can put in Santa Claus here. And as long as this is always the custom sending domain that we set up, then you know that it will always be correct, right? So I just want to go over that, and then we would save this. Then what's happening here is you have a delay. You have a 1-day delay, and then it's the next email. So what you're doing when you're inside of these workflows is you're replacing the templates that we gave you with your version of this email. So you're going to come in here and you're going to grab the new template and you're going to swap it out. Okay. And again, I'm going to talk to the team. I would prefer that they leave this blank rather than putting that in there, because if you don't remember to take that out, it's going to cause issues. It's not going to go anywhere because that's not a real email address, right? So I'll talk to the team about leaving that blank for you guys in the future. But just remember, always leave the from email blank. That way you can ensure that it's a proper email. In the name field, you can leave it blank and it will pull that information in, or you can put whatever you want in there. Okay. And then we save it. And then again, it's wait 1 day and you can then replace this template here with your version of promo email number 3. Now, maybe you want to add more promotion. Maybe you want to send more emails to your list to get people excited about it. Maybe you want to do a whole week of promotion, right? Do you want to do 7 days or something like that? I want to show you a trick when working with workflows. When you have a series of the same actions and you just want to duplicate them, the fastest way to do that is to click on the 3 dots, click here, go to copy, and I'm actually going to use copy all actions from here. And what that's going to do is it's going to copy this action and this action. So I'll click on copy all actions, and then I'm going to click down here to copy here. And what you're going to see here is it copied the wait 1 day, and it also copied the send promo email number 3. So here, this one I would change to be number 4, and I would just write another email, create another email template for the promo email number 4, and then I would pull it in here and save it. Okay. So that is a simple promo email sequence. Here's how we're going to get people into this workflow. Okay. So let's say you have your list that you want to send this email to. So we're going to save the changes that we made here. And then we're going to go to our contact list here. And all the contacts in this that I have in this demo account are just fake email addresses. But what I would do is I would choose who I want to send this to. Is it the people that I've segmented out for my new weekly newsletter? Is it people who want to sign up for my blog post? Is it people who made a purchase? Or you can build a whole new segment, right? So maybe you want to send it to your entire clean deliverability email list. You should have one of these segments in your account. You should have one of these smart lists in your account, because what this does is it makes sure that you're only sending to people who want to hear from you, right? You're only sending to people who have not unsubscribed, have not complained, have not bounced, all of that. So let's say I want to send it to these people here on this list. I just go over here and I click on the top checkbox here. And then I'm going to go up here to add tag. Okay. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to, in here it says action name, and I'm going to say manually added tag. And then here I'm going to tell the system what tag to add. So I'm going to put in event name, and I'm going to find my event name leads tag. Okay. So then as soon as I add that tag to these leads, it's going to fire off. It's going to add them to that workflow because the trigger for that workflow was to add this tag to it. So as soon as I add the tag to it, it's going to fire off. Now, I didn't publish my workflow, so I'm going to go back and do that because it's not turned on. So I'm going to go back into my automation. I'm going to turn that workflow on, the promo email one. So that's an important step. When you're ready to use the workflow, you need to publish it. So that's right here, draft. It's in draft or publish, and then you save it. And then what I'm going to do is go back and add those contacts to the workflow. So I'll go back to my people. I'm going to go back to my clean deliverability filter list that I want to send it to. I'm going to click on here, add the tag. And then I'm going to choose my tag. There's my tag. I'm going to add it, add the tag. And it says tag addition is in progress for the selected 6 contacts. Now, if you have a huge list that you're sending, that you're adding this tag to, it's going to take a little while for that to process. What you can do is you can go up here to check on the progress of that sending, okay, as it's adding those tags. So go into bulk actions, and we're just going to check and see. So you can see here, it will always show you the most recent at the top. It's telling me this has been complete. This is the tag that I did today. I added a tag, and I can see the stats here. I can click on show stats, and it's going to show me all of the people that were in that list successfully had that tag added to their contact record. Now I'm going to go back to my workflow, and I can see if they went through the workflow successfully. So I'm going to go back to my workflow, click on the little clock to go to the most recent one. First thing I want to point out to you is those 6 contacts were added successfully. You can see that here. How many people were added to the workflow? 6. How many are still active in the workflow? 6. So that means that they were added successfully. Then, if we go into the workflow, you're going to notice here's those 6 people. They're sitting here in this wait step. That's exactly what I want them to do. So this means that they they received the tag, and then they received the email to go with it. So we can dive into this even deeper by looking at the execution logs. This is the very first thing that I do if I have to do any sort of troubleshooting with a workflow. I am going to go into the execution logs, and I'm going to look and make sure that everyone received or is in the right place. So I can look at each contact individually. I can also go into the details here and see what's happening. It's showing here that the email was delivered, opened, clicked, accepted. Okay. So it's telling me all of those things. So you can really get into a lot of minute detail in these execution logs. So if you are looking to troubleshoot a workflow and you're not sure, somebody says, oh, I didn't get the email, or I didn't, whatever, you can come in here and take a look at what's happening. So now these people are just sitting in this wait step for one day, and then the workflow will push them to email number 2, and then they'll sit here for one day. So we know that the workflow is working. It's turned on. It's published. Amazing. I just want to stop here and ask, anybody have any questions so far?
Tamara, sorry, I joined a little bit late.
Hi.
I just quickly want to ask all this workflows is already in sales process. We can just duplicate them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
great. And then just another question, but it's not important right now. It's just for my paid event. Which steps would I need to duplicate twice for, say, if I don't have a free event, I have a paid event with a VIP upsell. We can discuss that afterwards.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 questions as well. So you can duplicate the workflow at once. Hi, by the way.
Hi.
Yeah.
So to duplicate the workflow, unfortunately, I would love it if we had the ability to duplicate the folder that it lives in,
Yeah,
and also
that's what I mean.
duplicate. Yeah, but you can't. You have to go inside the folder. You have to
then I
then
know.
duplicate the workflow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Unfortunately,
can't just do it by giving it a different name. Then it won't be duplicated, right?
No, because it will still be the same workflow. And then if we push any updates to it, it will change the original setup. So yeah.
I see. Yeah, just like what we had to do for the emails, right? That was
Yes.
quite,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the other thing is if you're changing anything in your mails afterwards, this will automatically be changed in the workflow, right?
So you can make changes in 2 places for your templates, and it will update anywhere. So you can either go right into your marketing menu and go into emails and go into the template and update it there. Yeah. Or you can update almost everything in the work or in the email here. The only thing you can't access to edit is if I click into here, I can't access, for whatever reason, we've let the dev team know that we don't like this, is the subject line. So I can update everything in here, and it will also update my template. But I can't get access to the subject line except right here. So I can change the subject line here, but it doesn't change it in the template.
Okay.
So that is one thing to take note of.
But the other way around, it works. So wherever you change it, the other thing will be changed as well, right?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. The only thing I want to point out is that if you change the subject line here, it doesn't change the subject line in your template.
Yeah.
So just make a note of that.
Yeah.
But yes, you can edit your template from right here.
Yeah. So one quick question about the DNS, because we all tried to come in on a Monday, but we were all clicked away from your meeting. So a lot of people are actually waiting to get in.
That's what Andrew, he mentioned it to me. I had like 15 participants on Monday, and then I was letting people in, and I noticed I was like, people were joining, and then they wouldn't actually like appear inside the room.
No, we were all removed. It were all the time. We tried to get in like with 3-4 other people. So trying to get in, and then we were automatically removed all the time.
That's so strange, because like there was probably 15 people here on Monday. We walked through the
Monday
whole email setup.
Yeah, we even messaged on the sales process chatbot and support. I emailed support as well, and they didn't get us in.
Yeah, so I saw people joining, and I would admit them into the room, and then their video would never appear. But there were like there were like 15 other people here. And we walked through all the DNS records and stuff for setting up your email.
Oh dear. So with regards to the DNS, we
Yes.
did this setting up my email together. So is there still something I need to do and go back to the Monday recordings in order to make that happen?
Yeah, I would definitely review that because it's kind of a dry class for sure, but it's important stuff that you want to make sure you have set up correctly.
Okay,
it will
that's
ensure that your deliverability for your email is spot on. So,
okay.
yeah. Chandra.
Right.
I can't hear you. You're muted. Oh.
Thank you. Sorry. So I just have a question on the DNS. All of our, or it looks like majority of our emails is going to a spam folder or junk mail. How do we get that right? Do we need, because at the moment it's link.thestudiopractice.com.
Yes.
Must we try a different one like connect.
Are you monitoring your email sending domain for reputation notifications? Are you monitoring it in like Google Postmaster at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. So
we can handle that. We can address that later after we're done with the workflow.
Okay. Yeah, so I briefly went over Google Postmaster on Monday, but I can also show you where to set that up so that you can figure out what your domain sending reputation is. I'll show you where that is after. Okay.
Can you fix that sending reputation after it's gone to?
It takes a really long time.
So it's quicker to just create a new one.
Well, so there's nothing about fixing your email is going to be quick, because here's the issue. When you have a brand new email sending domain, you have to warm that up. And that can take 6 weeks.
Okay.
If you want to repair a damaged sending domain, that can take like 6 months.
Okay.
So it's either way, it's going to take time.
Okay.
And of course, we can always talk about your domain reputation and everything once I show you where you can figure out how good it is or if it's got any issues. Email deliverability is I should do a whole entire series on email deliverability because there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah. But yeah, if everything is ending up in spam, the very first thing I would check, Jay-Andre, is I would make sure that my DNS records are set up properly. I'd want to know what your sending domain reputation is.
Yeah.
Those are the first two things that I would look at. And then if it's bad and you want to fix it, I can definitely recommend somebody that is an email deliverability expert, but it's not going to change the time frame on fixing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can show you where you can check your domain reputation. I'll do that after we go through the workflow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we've gone through the promo email one. Very simple workflow. You can even add to it if you want. If you want to have more of a promotion there, you can do that as well. The next workflow in this series is going to be everyone registering for your event and then being reminded about your event. Okay, and this is been combined into one workflow. Now, we're going to open this workflow and take a look at what the trigger is. The trigger here is them submitting the registration form in your funnel. So they have registered to be a part of your event. So what do you need to do to make this workflow your own? You're going to click on the trigger. You're going to come in here and you're going to change this form to be your form, not the sales process event sales form, but change it to the form that you created for your page. Okay. All right. And then it's going to go through here. It's updating the pipeline. It's adding a tag. It's removing them from the promotion email sequence. We don't have to promote the email or the event to them anymore because they've registered, right? So we want to make sure we pull them out of that promotion workflow. And here is their registration welcome. This is the email template that you are going to replace with your own email template. And remember, and I'm again, remove this. Otherwise, it's going to send from that domain. And it's not going to work. I'm going to tell the team not to do that in the future when they're building templates. And then, of course, also either leave this blank or put your name in there. Okay. And here we also have a step for the welcome text message, right? And so this was part of updating your templates, was updating the SMS snippets. And then you could grab your SMS snippet, and instead of the sales process template, you would pull in your own here. And then it would sit here. Okay. Jeandre, question.
So there where it's the email sender and email name, if you leave it blank, what is going to appear there?
So I like to leave the email address blank because it will always automatically pull in your custom sending domain. And that's the one we want to be used. That's the one. And then if you leave the name blank, it pulls in the name that you have set up in your business profile in sales process. It doesn't matter what you put in the name. You can put like I was telling Karen, you can put Santa Claus in the name. It doesn't matter. But the email address is so important.
I'm just going to do that for funsies.
Santa Claus, yeah. Who doesn't want to get an email from Santa Claus? I know I wouldn't mind getting one.
Big gift.
That's right. Okay, so this next step in your workflow is really, really, really important. Okay. This is your event date and your event time for event day one. So if you're having a day, like a series of events, so if it's like a 3-day event, this you want to set up, you need to change this date here to your date and to the time that your event starts on day one. Okay. And this, if you're going to use this workflow over and over and over again, is something you will have to update for each event that you run. So sometimes people forget that piece and then they're like, well, why isn't my reminders going out? This is going to be what controls when your reminders go out, everything. So it's really important to remember to change this to your date and time of day one of your event. Okay. And then here, this wait time is a little bit different than just a regular time delay. This is based on this action. So what this does is it is not a time delay wait step. It's an event time step. It's an event wait step. And what we're telling the system is we want them to wait 5 days before the event date and time to send email reminder number 1. So 5 days before the event, it's going to send email reminder number 1. Now, if you have people and you're still wanting people to register 5 days before your event, right? You still want people to register. But let's say they register on day 4. You don't want them to receive this email reminder number 1. So that's what this step here does. If somebody registers on day 4, like 4 days before, it's going to skip this email. Okay? And it will put them in this wait step, which is 3 days before. And then they'll receive email reminder number 2. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay, so then you're going to update this template in here for your email reminder number 2. And this one still says SMS reminder number 1, probably because it's the exact same template. Oh no, it's different, shouldn't it be? Sorry, where's that one? Right here. Okay, yeah, so it's different than your welcome SMS. And so this is your reminder here, number 1 SMS text message. So again, this is just waiting, and you can adjust these. Like maybe you want to change when the reminders are sent out. You can adjust these here, okay? But by having this turned on, it makes sure that anybody who registers in between, it skips those people. So now we have 1 day before reminder, then we have a wait 3 hours before. And you're just going to go through and you're going to update all of these templates with your own templates. So we have a 3-hour reminder. We have a 1-hour reminder. We have a 15-minute reminder. Okay. And then this is exactly when the event starts. You're going to send out these last couple messages for that. Then you have another date and time event here. This is for day 2. So this is if you had a series of events, you'd update here, okay? And so this is quite a long workflow because it's the same thing all the way through. And then depending on how many days your event is, you're going to have several event dates and times that you're going to have to update. And then all of these templates in here to the reminders. Okay? Any questions about the registration confirmation and reminder sequence workflow?
Tamara, I just have a few questions. So my VIP has an hour before the time. There's a registration networking session an hour before the general event starts. Would I create a separate workflow and run it for one for VIP and one for general, and then just change the start time for that, and also the VIP emails that would go out?
Yes, I would keep them separate.
Okay.
You can build, you could build it all in one workflow, but it would be a nightmare to try and track if something went wrong. So I like to separate them out, have one for VIP, one for general.
Okay, great. And in emails, say we need to attach a recording. The recording will be only made available on the day, but would I do it after the event and just copy and paste that link to the recording in there? Or how would I get that recording out?
So I would create a custom value for the link, put the custom value in the emails, and just paste the replay link in the custom value to update it in one place, and it gets updated everywhere else. That's what I would do. Yep.
A question about the custom value.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just so good. But when I tested my email, actually, it didn't show it in the email while I had the right link. Can that be because I didn't take out that from name, from email? So the from email, I kept it like how it was. While you said you need to remove it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So and I kept it in. Could that be the case? Could that be the cause?
So you didn't receive the email, or you did receive
I
the
received the email,
Okay.
but instead of saying like the custom value, it just said like event name, just like the words event name.
Okay,
So
so I would want it shouldn't say that. It should actually show the custom value of whatever you put in there. So you had created a link that you should have been there. Okay,
yeah.
so if we go look at custom values, what we would want to do is we would say, okay, event link, then your link goes here.
Oh, how did you do that? Is that a new one? Oh yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to create it. And then you're going to
Copy
use
paste. Yeah, I did
this,
that.
yeah, in the email.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
Can you show me? Can you share your screen with me and show me? I'll stop sharing because I want to make sure that, because it should show the link, whatever you put in the custom value. Oh, yep, allow, sorry.
Let me see. Can you see anything?
I cannot, no. Oh, now I can. Black screen.
Oops. Black screen, that's not so good.
There we go.
Okay, let me see. You want to see like the custom values, right? Like how I did it.
Yeah.
Settings, custom value.
I think you're only sharing, you're not sharing your desktop, you're just sharing, all I can see is
Oh,
your email screen.
oops. That was not the intention.
No worries.
So what should I share
Share your
then? Where
desktop.
is it? Entire screen?
Yeah.
Can you see it now?
It's just delayed. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at your custom values. Oh, look at, you've got them all organized in folders and everything. Karen, you are, that's amazing.
Trying to be organized.
That's so organized. I love it. Okay, so which is the link that should have appeared in the email? Show me that.
Well, for example, this one, the
Okay,
the
let's
event
open,
name.
let's go over here and click and open this. So let's edit it. Go see, do you see where my pink arrow is? Go to the three
Wait, no,
dots.
that's like, yeah, sorry, you were in the way.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Go
edit.
to edit. Yep. So the value you gave it was event name. You have to put the actual name of your event. So you just have these two swapped.
Oh,
Okay, so you're going to put event name up here and then the value which you want in there, which is sends power of you. Yeah, there you go. Just swap.
yeah, that. Oh dear, that makes sense.
That's okay. Just swap them and then you're good. That'll appear.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Blush.
awesome. I am so excited that you're using custom values. I'm just so excited about that. That's awesome.
I was also so excited until
Yes.
it didn't work, but I have been so stupid.
No. I mean, it's how do you know, right? Because it's the first time using it. So just swap those two and you'll be good to go.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
had one more question. If I have a
Yes.
day 3, I can just like go to the 3 points again, right?
So there is a day 3 in the workflow. If you
Yeah.
wanted to add like
Oh, there is.
4
Okay.
days. Yeah, there is
Oh,
a
yeah.
day 3 in there.
Okay.
But if you wanted to add more, you could, yeah, just copy like we did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. I'm so excited that you guys are using custom values. That's going to shortcut a lot of the stuff that you go through there. Okay. So let me get back to automations. So the reminder one, again, the only reason I'm reiterating this is because I see it happen all the time when people reuse the workflows. Just remember, you have to update those event dates and times in the workflow. Okay. All right. So we have our registration and confirmation and reminder sequence. Amazing. Now we're going to take a look at the one-time offer or your upsell abandoned cart sequence. Okay. Now, the only way this works, the only way the abandoned cart sequence works is because you're using a two-step order form in your funnel. And that's the way the template is set up. So that's good. But if you were using a one-step order form, this would not work. The two-step order form is designed to work for the abandoned cart sequence. So here, you're going to need to make a change to the trigger inside of this workflow because it's going to be the name of your funnel here, what page that is sitting on. And you'll notice that the submission type here is just opt-in. So in a two-step order form, you are asked for your name and email first, and then it says go to step 2. That's how it captures your name. And if you don't complete the purchase, what happens is this will fire off. This workflow will fire off, okay? Because you're opting in. You didn't make a sale. It's not, the submission type isn't a sale. It's just you providing your name and email. So that's an opt-in. It's going to sit here and it's going to wait, okay? It's going to wait until for 30 minutes. And the reason we do that is because people get distracted when they're purchasing something. Some people purchase really quickly. Some people takes them 15 minutes, whatever the case may be, right? So we have them sit there and wait. Then this is an update step to the pipeline. It puts them into the abandoned cart pipeline stage. It's adding a tag that says they're in the abandoned cart. Okay. And then here it's saying, here's the first email, come back and purchase the one-time offer. So it's bringing them back. Now, I want to point out that in your one-time offer email, the very first email, you want to link back to your order form page, right? To the one-time offer page. You want to provide that link in that email. That's really important. That's the only way they can get back in there, right? Because that's a page that's inside your funnel. And so you have to provide them the link to get back to that order form page. All right. Okay. So then here is where you can, sort of muck about and change the times. Do you want to wait a full day before you try to bring them back to purchase the one-time offer? I would almost be like, especially if it's a 3-day and your promotion window isn't very big, if you don't have like a big lead up to your event, I would almost want to play with these times and maybe only wait 2 hours, right? Maybe wait 3 hours or something like that instead of an entire day. So know that you can play with those times, okay? Then again, you're going to send out another email to bring them back to the one-time offer. Again, remember your link to bring them back to that order form. And then it's going to wait. There's another wait step. And then this email number 3 goes out to bring them back. And then they get a tag added that says completed abandoned cart. Okay. Any questions about the abandoned cart sequence?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what if they buy it in between? Because
Such a
it doesn't.
great question. Great question. So let's go and make sure that if they buy it, they don't stay in here. So
Yeah.
the team sets it up a little bit different than what I set up my abandoned cart sequence, but they put a remove workflow inside the purchase. So when somebody purchases, this one here is actually when a sale is made, when they actually buy the one-time offer, then they get removed from the abandoned cart sequence. So it pulls them out of that workflow, that's perfect. That's awesome. That's what we want to happen. Okay. So
That is, yeah, I
yeah,
see.
that's amazing. That's what we want to happen. We don't want them to stay in the abandoned cart sequence. So if they purchase, there is a step in the purchase workflow that pulls them out of the abandoned cart sequence.
Yeah, and what if they haven't bought the upgrade, so the VIP experience, the OTO?
Yeah. So if
Do they get like reminders in order to buy it?
Yeah, that's what these emails are, right? That's what these
But this is
emails are.
only abandoned, right? This is only if they
Only if
have.
they provide you with their name and email.
Yeah.
If they don't buy the OTO, you could set up another workflow to target those people who registered for your event,
Yeah.
are not in the abandoned cart sequence.
Yeah.
You could target them as well. You could put them into a series as well.
Yeah,
to
because
try to get them.
these are most of the people, right?
Yeah.
Most of the
Yeah.
time. It's not that
Yeah.
they abandon the cart more often. I would say it's more often that they decide not to buy
Not
the
to.
upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, you also give them the option on your confirmation page to purchase the OTO as well. That last.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, you could definitely set up a workflow to have people added to the workflow if they don't have the abandoned cart tag and they don't have the OTO purchase tag.
Okay, so you add that to this one, right? So you add another trigger there.
So
and
what
then
you
get
could
the
do,
same.
I would make a completely different workflow, Karen.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
make a completely different workflow that after they register, I would have like wait, I would create a workflow like this. So I'd go from scratch. I'd have a workflow where I would say have like wait, and I'd put in 1 day. Wait 1 day. And then I would put in a condition here. If else condition. And I would say, did they purchase OTO or are they in the abandoned cart sequence? I just put ABC. That's how I put it okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, did not purchase OTO. So I'm going to click here, contact details. What I'm looking for is the tag. So I'm going to be looking for tag does not include, and then OTO. So it would be the event sales process OTO buyer tag. So what I'm saying here is I'm looking they don't have this tag. Then I'm going to add another branch and not are in ABC workflow. And so then I'm going to choose let me see here. I'm going to choose this here. And then again, I would choose the tag is event. I'm looking for the abandoned cart. So this one. So they get this tag when they enter the abandoned cart sequence. Okay. So they get this 30 minutes after entering the abandoned cart sequence, and we're not putting them into this workflow until a day later. So then we're going to go and click save. And what that does is it creates two pathways for them to go down. So this means that they did not purchase the OTO. And they, you know what? I want to change this. I'm changing this. And I'm going to put this here in the same branch because I want it to be both. I'm going to say does not include event abandoned cart tag. So I'm going to delete this branch. So what I did here, Karen, was I put in two conditions. So what I want is that did not purchase OTO and not in ABC workflow. So those two conditions have to be true. They can't have the OTO buyer tag, and they can't have the abandoned cart sequence tag, okay? And then I'm going to change it so that it's just one pathway. Then you could decide to send them an email, right? Send them an email to bring them back, like email, OTO, second chance. And I would call that number 1, right? And so then you would here put in an email that gives them the second chance to grab that OTO. Okay. You would also, so if this is your, I would call this here my second chance OTO series. Oh, sorry, okay. And I would also want to, if they purchase, I'd want to also add a remove from workflow if they purchase the OTO. So I would again, in the purchase workflow, I would also not only remove them from the abandoned cart sequence, I'd want to remove from workflow. And I would put in here another workflow. And I would say second chance OTO, right? Because I don't want them to continue to receive that as well. So if you do build out this additional workflow, remember to pull them out of it in the purchase workflow, if that makes sense. So then once you have this set up, you can, of course, keep promoting the one-time offer to them until they purchase. Andre, I see your hand. Question?
Yeah, so with with mine, that's a paid event. Will I run the this process on the normal page and then duplicate it for the VIP page as well? Because on the VIP, on the OTO, it's just that one-time offer, the order bump one. So how would that work?
Okay, so you have a paid event that they pay for,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have an abandoned cart sequence for that.
Yeah.
And then you would have your one-time offer. Is that your VIP experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then the VIP experience is also going to have an abandoned cart sequence, right? So what it's going to
but
look
that doesn't
different.
have a two-step order form. That just has one click.
So what you're looking for then is the condition you're going to be looking for is whether or not they have the purchase tag for the OTO. And if they don't, then that's when they stay in the workflow, in the abandoned cart
So
OTO workflow.
I need to change it a bit.
Yeah. So yours isn't going to, the trigger for yours isn't going to be opt-in, like the order form opt-in.
Yeah.
It's going to be whether or not they have the tag, the purchase tag. So what would happen there is for that one, if they register for the event, I would put this in your registration workflow, which is kind of a pain in the butt here because I would want to add in a step here. The welcome. Yeah, you'd almost want to put after your welcome here, you'd want to put in a condition. And so you'd want to put in a condition if else. And you'd want to say, did they purchase the OTO? Right? And so here you'd be looking for that tag. Tag includes, tag includes, and then it's the event OTO. So let me find that. Okay. And then the other branch would be no. So it would, actually, I'm just going to get rid of this one and delete that. And this would be no. And save. So then if they purchased the OTO, then you're just going to throw them down this path here. If they did not, I'd add them to a workflow. Add them to a workflow that encourage that, like the OTO abandoned cart sequence. So there would be a workflow that you would create abandoned cart sequence emails in, but it wouldn't have a trigger because they'd have to be added in here. So you'd add them to the OTO abandoned cart sequence here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So add them to the workflow that side, and then they just go the side around.
So what you're checking for here is if they purchased. If they didn't, then you want to add them to the workflow. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. And say they clicked on no, they're not interested in the OTO experience.
Mm-hmm.
Or what happens then?
So if they do that, then what happens? Karen and I just built this out actually. We called it the Second Chance OTO series.
Yeah.
So what happens there is if they don't have a tag, if they don't have the OTO tag and they are not in an abandoned cart sequence, then we're going to try and send them a series of emails to get them to purchase the OTO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and say they're still not interested. What happens then? How do they get the normal experience emails? Or
You
will I
would,
have, yeah?
yeah, you would just have normal experience emails for just the regular registrants, right?
Okay, so you separate the two, the VIP
Yeah,
and
you
then
separate the two. Yep. And
the.
then
Okay,
if they
thank you.
upgrade, you want to have like remove from workflow. You want to remove them from the regular registration workflow
Yeah.
in your VIP workflow. Okay.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of work, but
Yeah, like it's I like to draw it out on paper almost because it's a lot of like your brain is like, "Oh my goodness, how do I keep this all straight?" But
no, I
yeah.
have it in a really huge Canva board.
There you go. That works too. That
Yeah.
works too. Yeah. But you know what? This is what we call plugging the leaks, right? This is where traffic can get lost if we don't build these workflows to keep them engaged. So you're doing a great job thinking about how can I plug the leaks. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so that I believe the only workflow we didn't go over is the OTO buyer workflow, which is pretty self-explanatory. All we're doing is sending them the information about the purchase that they made. We've got a couple of remove from workflow actions here, and we're updating their tags in there. Again, the thing that you want to customize for your workflow is you want to make sure the trigger is pointing to your funnel. Okay. So that there is the workflows. So your homework then for the contest is just to customize one of these workflows. Take a screenshot of your customization. So if that means that you changed your trigger to reflect that it's your event name leads here, just take a picture of that, throw it in the Facebook group with the hashtag sales process wins, and then that will be your entry for this month's contest. Now we have a couple, oh, we're a little bit over time. I apologize. Jean-Andre, you wanted to, I just want to show you where you can check your email domain reputation, okay? So if we go into settings down here at the bottom, we're going to go to email services. And here is where you have all of your custom domain is all set up and everything, right? This is a demo account. I removed all my information that we went over on Monday. In here, you have Postmaster tools. This is where you're going to set up your Google Postmaster. Okay. So your email sending domain is all set up. So it's going to give you the opportunity to connect Google Postmaster. And then once you're inside, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to show you. I manage my Google Postmaster outside of sales process, but I do want to show you what it looks like, what you're looking at. Okay. I just have to switch profiles here. One sec. And okay. I'll share my screen again. Inside Google Postmaster, I have a bunch of client domains that I monitor. Okay. Inside here, you can go, let's go look at one of my clients. This one. I can go in here and what I'm looking for is I'm going to go as far back as 120 days. It's going to tell me my spam rate here. And this client has 0% reported spam. That's amazing. That's exactly what we want to see. Then up here, you're going to be able to see what's my domain reputation. So I'm going to click on domain reputation. And, oh, poop, she doesn't have any for 120 days. Okay. Let me see if I have someone else in here. Okay, here we go. Here's another domain. Do you see how it shows high, medium, low, and bad? This blue line tells me that she has a high sending domain reputation. That's exactly what we want to see. It is very common to see medium as well. What we don't want to see is low or bad reputation. Right? So this, now remember, Google Postmasters is only monitoring email sent to Gmail accounts. But because 60% of the world uses a Gmail address, it's a good litmus test to see. If you know, Jeandre, if you know your audience uses the majority of a different type of email address, like if they're not Google or Gmail users, this might not be a good test for you. But it is somewhere to start to see what your sending domain reputation is. Yes, Jeandre.
So to set this up, do I use the connect.thestudiopractice.com or do I just use the main domain?
So you're going to actually use your main domain, like your email sending domain, the one you have set up in your in here. You're going to use this one here, like the one, your custom sending domain inside of email services.
Okay.
Okay. And you can set up Postmaster inside of sales process. I just don't have mine set up there because this is a fairly new feature. And I just monitor all my clients in the regular Google Postmaster. Yes, Karen.
Does this also show data if you don't send emails via sales process yet?
Yes, it will show even if you just have to put in the domain that you're using, right?
Okay.
So you have to put in the domain that you're using to send email. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
Gonna look that up.
And
sorry,
it's free.
Tamara,
It's free to use. It doesn't cost anything. Yes.
Yeah, I think did you go through how to set all of this up on Monday?
Yeah. Yep. We talked about setting up Google domain. We set up the entire email custom sending domain in here. We made sure all the DNS records were correct and what they should look like. We did all that on Monday.
Okay, so I'll just go and have a look at the video of Monday.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Great.
If you have any questions or you run into any problems, just come back to office hours and we can take a look. If you even want me to review your DNS records, I can let you know if they're correct or not.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I would love for you to review the workflows when I'm done with it. But yeah.
I can take a look at them. Yeah, for sure. Bring them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Thank you guys so much. I apologize for going over. I do want to honor your time, so I appreciate you hanging in there with me.
Sorry, what's the prizes of this month? Do you guys know yet?
Yeah, so the prizes are still one-on-one with Peng Jun, still the Marcus time with Marcus for ads, and then a ticket to Peng Jun's next virtual event is the third place.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, guys, I want you guys to have an incredible rest of your week. I look forward to continuing this series on Monday with you, and bring any questions that you have. Take a look. I recommend checking out Google Postmaster Tools and plugging in your domain and seeing what it tells you. It's a good litmus test to just kind of see where your sending domain's at. So, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.